while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Hey guys and girls, welcome back to YYC Designz RC Creations. We got the fire going. It's only about 12 below today. That's 12 centigrade, which is it's around 0, I guess. And still enough we need a fire going in the wood stove because I like to stay warm. And Maddie's outside playing in the yard. It's a pretty day out there, sun's shining. She's enjoying it. I don't know if we can see her out there. There she is out there playing in the yard, my beautiful little shop assistant. So, and it's a good day to be in here doing some building. So we are working on, there she is. There's little Maddie. There's Maddie right there. Hey, sweetheart. There's our good girl. So we are working on some bumpers for Pat down at Fatstrings RC. Now, not only is he an RC enthusiast, he's also a machinist. He does some really cool shit on his mill, and I suggest you all go check him out. It's Fatstrings RC. I will leave a link in the description for y'all. Anyway, on with his bumpers. Now, they're going on to a Bronco body. It's an axial chassis, but it's a Bronco body, and I believe it's one he's made himself. So Pat wants some a stinger bumper for the front and an old 70s style. I will put a picture up here so y'all can see what I'm talking about. An old 70s style rear Bronco bumper, the nice chromey job. However, these bumpers are not going to get painted, as Pat wants a little rust and a little patina to get on them and get showing. So what I did, I will move my Coke out of the way after I have a slurp. What I did was, of course, I took some 1/2-inch square stock. It's 1/8 thick wall, so it's not very heavy. And we took, I got stuck on it there. We got some 1/4-inch rod here, 1/4-inch solid rod, okay? And that I have cut down into an appropriate length piece here, marked center. That will become the stinger. I took a piece of 1 inch wide by 1/8 inch thick flat stock, and I migged it across the front here. Now, I've got a little bit of cleanup to do on there yet, and I think what I'm going to do is just run a nice small weave bead along there and fill this in. Pat wants this upper lip. He's seen it on another bumper I made, and he wants that upper lip in there, and he wants that look, of course, with the stinger bumper. It is 5 inches wide only. He wants a really narrowed down bumper. Rear bumper is going to be the same. So this is where it's a little bit custom, a little bit cool, and should turn out pretty groovy. Now, I'm going to design this so that Pat can mount a winch here if he wants to. All he will have to do is drill it out and tap it, and he can mount a winch, okay? And the stinger, he does not want lights in this bumper. But I'm going to do something with these ends and fill them in as well and make them look kind of sexy. So I might even angle this slightly back or add a little piece on the end to give it a bit of an angle, something. Or I might make it 5 inches wide at the back and just slightly narrower at the front, so that I can do something pretty groovy and fill in these nasty looking ends. Yeah, anyway, so I've already got it migged in there. Like I say, I've got to turn around and fill in a couple of spots where the steel was still a little nasty. Of course, it has been down to 40 below here of late, and for those of you who may or may not know, 40 below is the same in Fahrenheit as it is in centigrade. It's damn bloody bitter cold, and I am constantly just stuffing wood in the stove and tending the fire. I can't get any work done, so ergo I have been working in the small shop instead. But we got a day out in the big shop. Tomorrow it's supposed to get down to 30 below again, so let's get going and let's get some building done while we can. Yeah. So as mentioned, I had to do a little bit of a repair here on some spots where the metal was still a bit crappy and damp. So I'm just doing a very small weave weld just to fill in that gap between the upper 1/8 piece and the 1/2 inch square tube. It's just more or less clean it up, make it look decent in the end after it's all done. And that way you don't have these little pits and slags in there leaving a bunch of holes. Yeah, makes a much neater job in the process. So getting some grinding done here, just getting rid of the excess steel that I put in there. I did make a little mistake and got a bit of the edge warm on the 1/8 by 1 inch wide piece, and kind of destroyed a little bit of the lip, which I'm going to have to do a bit of a repair on via the grinding. So what I'll do is I'll just smooth it down as much as I can, and here I'm using a 1/4 inch round file just to get rid of a lot of the material that I don't need, bring the bumper down to level. Now the flat file comes out, same thing, just to clean up the edges, sharpen them up, and make everything look flat and even. I basically take out probably half, maybe even 2/3 of the metal I put in during the weld. So between the grinder, which is running an 80 grit flap disc on it, and using that to clean up all over, and so that I can get the metal all nice and clean all over for the remainder of the work that I want to do on the piece. May as well do everything at once, right? Clean it all up and just get ready to weld. A little bit more here with now a 3/8 file, and just going to clean off the top same way with a flat grinder. Make sure we have a nice flat level surface to work with when we go to weld the stinger on. And that's about all I'm doing here, is just really cleaning the piece up and getting it ready for the stinger to go on. That'll happen here momentarily. I'm just marking out my center, and I took each post of the stinger out 1.5 inches from center, and I put a 35, meaning that on the stinger piece itself, I put a 35-degree angle on the ends of each piece, so that when I go to weld it on the flat part of the bumper, it will stick out beyond the bumper just a slight bit, about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. Here I'm heating up the 1/4 inch stock, and I am wrapping it around a 1/2 inch solid piece of round stock to get the stinger effect, and it just makes a really nice round over piece. And of course, fitting it, and when I disappear here off of camera, I am just grinding in that 30-degree angle onto both feet of the stinger, and we'll get ready to weld it into place here. As you can see, it sticks out a little bit, not bad, about 3/4 of an inch, and I think looks pretty groovy in my opinion, but of course y'all can let me know in the comments what y'all think of it. And I'm just using a MIG with the 035 wire, and just minimal heat really, because I don't want to burn up that 1/4 inch rod and have a chunk of it fall away on me. So nice little tack both sides, and then just fill it in and try and make it look all nice and smooth all the way around on the weld for the stinger. And after that, it'll be the same thing. Just use the grinder and a file to clean her up and make her look as sexy as I can for Pat here.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
So I know Pat didn't ask for it here, and I'm hoping he's gonna like this. He can grind them off, I guess, if he doesn't like them. But what I am doing here is I am adding a couple of custom tow hooks onto the underside of the bumper, and it's out of the same 1/4 inch round stock rod that I made the stinger out of. So size wise it's all the same. It looks nice and symmetrical top and bottom. Here I'm just putting the curve into the hooks and straightening them out, making sure they're all nice and even, and then just take the grinder, of course, clean them up and put the nice little hook bit into each one with the grinder, and then I'll go along later and take the file and make them look really nice on the ends. So hope you enjoyed it, Pat. It's just a little custom touch I decided to add in for you. I always like to try and go that extra mile and give my clients just a little bit more than they ask for, or throw in something kind of cool and that they didn't expect. Yeah, so hopefully this is cool with you. I just thought it was something different. Everybody's running the red D-rings, and instead y'all got some tow hooks instead. And believe you me, if you can't pull it out using these hooks, then man, better get a shovel, yeah? Because they're strong hooks, trust me.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
So the last little bit I want to do here is just put a bit of a filler piece in this stinger bumper. I don't know exactly what you call the piece. It's just a fancy little fill piece at the top of the stinger bumper that some guys have. Other guys leave it with just the bar. I tend to think it looks a little bit better with a nice fancy filler piece in there. It's made from the same 1 inch wide by 1/8 flat bar, and I'm just going to cut it out here, this little triangle, and I'm going to put it on the drill press and drill some holes in there just to dress it up a little bit, make it look a little sexier. And then in a few minutes here, we're going to continue on and weld it into place. Okay, so all drilled out and made to look not bad. I think you'll see it here in a few minutes. Just tacking it in all 4 corners, and then I will make it solidly into place. Again, the MIG set for very low heat, running an 035 flux core wire in my welder. I don't run gas with my MIG just yet. Right now I just haven't had the setup to do it. I am going to get an argon setup here soon because I would like to start being able to run or weld aluminum on it. Just cleaning it up with the grinder here. Anyway, you see what I mean about just put a few little holes in the piece just to make it a little different, a little dressier, just so it's not a big flat hunk of steel sitting in the middle of this stinger bumper. Try to make it a little bit fancy and a little bit sexy for Pat, and I hope he likes the looks of this. Anyway, just doing the final cleanup with the grinder here, and then we'll move it into the little shop, and that's going to be it for the video. Just show you here a couple of pictures at the very end when I'm done, since the camera was a little off alignment here. But there we are with the stinger bumper, and that's gonna pretty well do her here for this video from YYC Designz RC Creations. Thanks, y'all. See you next time.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart